The Gitty Gang presents I Love Gitty, featuring Ben Baker, Glenn Watt, and Nick Lanciano. Please give a warm welcome to the Gitty Gang.
Hey, live. Well, welcome back to another Gitty Gang show. I'd like to open this show by sending the old salute out to our buddy Stephen Two Hawks Reed there, gloating, as it were, about it being 80 degrees where he is. Nobody likes a gloater, Stephen. Remember that.
You can keep it.
I don't know if we've broken much above 30 here today. Maybe 40. I don't know. But hey, spring is coming, people. And with it, or just before the first day of spring, is of course St. Patrick's Day. We're going to be talking a little bit about that today. We have Watt Corner with our own Watt heading up said corner.
Heading up said corner.
Oh, there's a lot going on in Watt Corner today. We're going to have some singing and playing of some Irish songs and tunes. Because we are officially in, well, I'm hiding behind Nick there. We are officially in the High Holy Season. It's what the Irish and Irish descendants of the Irish here in America, refer to as basically the month, or at least the several weeks leading up to March 17th. The High Holy Season, with St. Patrick's Day, of course, being the High Holy Day itself. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. We've got a couple of videos that you folks have submitted to us that we're going to run. Glenn is diligently reading comments and seeing who is logged in out there today. We are glad you are with us. We really are. It's the highlight of the week every time we get to sit here and not talk at you or preach to you, but communicate. Commune? No, what's the word? Who we got out there?
Louis Lamanna, it's good to see you, man. Jim Burt, Roll Tide.
Awesome build out of Louis. Did you see that? The Declaration of Independence guitar?
Strangely enough, I have. Ron Lutt, Michael Capato, good to see you, gentlemen. Keith Rierick, Wayne Anderson,
Did I hear you say
Tim Henderson.
Jim Burt's name?
Roll Tide, Jim Burt.
Jim Burt.
Second time. All right. Well, Dave Gatton, good to see you as well, my man.
I don't do a lot of listening.
All right, here we go.
All right, so one of the things, if you've been following the Gitty page or the Cigar Box Nation page, you'll know that Shane Spiel has been posting some awesome stuff, some finds, old plans or old references to homemade instruments. I don't know if you've seen this, Glenn. Yesterday, our buddy Jim Morris posted a video on his YouTube channel of him playing the Ratfink, was it Ratfink? Cello that he built based on some plans that Shane had posted as Cigar Box Nation last week. So Jim Morris built one. Batfink, not Ratfink. See, close. One of those. But yeah, some awesome stuff going on. But you also know, hopefully, that earlier this week we released my newest songbook. I'm going to come up. I'm coming out of the booth. Right below Nick there. St. Patrick's Day favorites. This is a Cigar Box guitar tablature songbook, like all the others I've released, arranged for 3-string open G, GDG Cigar Box guitars. This is the first in a series of Irish, Celtic, Scottish songbooks I'm going to be releasing. It contains 35 of the best Irish songs that you would be most likely to hear were you to walk into a good Irish pub on St. Patrick's Day, the High Holy Day itself. Not necessarily every Irish pub, because there are a number of pubs that are Irish in name only. Not naming any names, but going into a good Irish pub, these are the sorts of songs you'd be most likely to hear. We're going to be playing some of them and singing them here today on this show. I also included a tune. Now, do you know when I say tune versus song, do you know what I'm talking about, Glenn?
I don't know what you're talking about, Ben.
A tune, and the way I use the term, and it is used in sessions, a tune is generally an instrumental piece. No words, no singing, just playing. People being a little less respectful, might call them the deedly tunes, because they can all kind of sound the same after a while, after you've been listening to or playing them for a while. But I included a tune in this, actually a set of 3 tunes in this tablature songbook. 3 Irish polkas. Now, when I say an Irish polka, it has nothing to do with Eastern European polkas. It's more the rhythm, the time signature of how the song the tune flows. Well, I included 3 in here. Now, of course, you know the challenge with tablature is that there is nothing in the tablature to tell you how the song goes, the rhythm of the song, how it's supposed to sound. It shows you where to put your fingers and what notes to play, but it doesn't tell you when to play those notes or how long to hold them. So it's a little bit of a stretch to include tunes in a tablature songbook. But the workaround to that is you watch or listen to a recording of somebody playing them. So what I wanted to do real quick is play through these 3 tunes, just quick now, nothing heavy. I happen to have it open to the page. Play through these 3 tunes. They are Dennis Murphy's polka, The Siege of Ennis, and Sean Ryan's polka. Now the second one here, The Siege of Ennis, you might recognize as being the same tune as the Irish or even sometimes children's song, The Rattling Bog. Oh, row the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. The third polka in this set you might recognize from a memorable scene in the movie The Titanic, James Cameron's Titanic from back in the 90s. It's been a while since that came out. There was a scene in there, I don't know if you've seen the movie, but there's the Irish party in steerage scene. So all the Irish, of course, are down in 3rd class, down in the bowels of the ship, and they have a bit of a hoolie down there, a bit of a party. And there's a band, and they're playing. I think Great Big Sea might have been the band, but they do this polka. So I'm going to try to blast through these pretty quick. Now, when I play these on the mandolin or the tenor banjo, I'm in the key of D, but since I'm on an open G cigar box guitar, I'm going to do them in the key of G. All right, I'm going to not screw it up. I'm really not going to screw it up. Overthinking it. I can do this. That's a quick and not quite perfect run through those 3 polkas. I'm going to try to record and post a cleaner and slower version of that. I was hitting a bunch of extra notes in there, you know, adding a little bit of harmonic strumming as opposed to just playing the plain bass basic notes, which I know somebody coming to this new probably just wants nice and slow the basic notes. So I'm going to work on that. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. What do we got up next? Oh, you can get this songbook right now on cbgitty.com, the limited edition spiral bound version. I know people like the spiral bound version because it will open flat and stay flat on a music stand or a table. So we're doing these signed. I sign each one, write a little note in there, sláinte, which is of course Irish or Gaelic for cheers. Yeah, 35 songs, 136 pages, I believe. Some blank tablature sheets in the back, a little snippet of history on each of the songs, who recorded it, all the additional verses, the chords, the chord forms, all the stuff you need to play yourself some good Irish songs. And you've got time to get it before St. Patrick's Day.
Very cool.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
How many songs in the book?
What's that?
How many songs?
35. 35 songs, multiple arrangements of each one. I always try to give at least 2 different keys of each song. So that, like, I was just playing those in the key of G. Those tunes are one exception. I don't give multiple keys, but I always try to give 2 different keys, usually C and G, because those are 2 common keys, kind of far apart. So vocally, you might find you can sing one in one key, but not the other. So yeah, all sorts of good stuff. All right, so enough about that. Also, just earlier today, I listed another new songbook. It's really a compendium of a couple of the previous ones. It is the Worship Leaders edition of the Cigar Box Guitar Hymnal. 316 pages. This is a beefy one. This is all of the hymns, spirituals, and carols that have been in the other smaller edition hymnals. But this one is special because it's spiral bound. It'll lay flat on a lectern, on a pulpit, on a music stand. It's intended for folks who might be leading the singing in a church service or something like that. The Worship Leaders Edition, spiral bound. We do print all of these and bind them by hand right here at CB Gitty. What you got going on out there, Glenn?
Just looking at the people being all nice out there, saying nice things to Ben Baker.
I see Matthew Simpson. Good to see you. William
Magic
Sneed.
Daddy.
Magic
Daddy. All right.
Daddy. Yeah, buddy. So, we have a short. Actually, I don't know how long it is. How long is this video, Nick?
This one?
Dana S.
That's a good question. About 41 seconds.
41 seconds worth of wonder and delight for you, submitted by Mr. Dana S. What's he? Do we know what he's showing off in here? It looks like a 3-stringer.
It's like a Delta Bucker.
Ooh, a Delta Bus. Some good stuff here. So we'll be right back with Mrs. Gitty coming on stage to sing a good old traditional Irish love song for us. So we'll be right back.
see those knobs?
Did you see those
Hey,
knobs?
that came out wrong. No, I just noticed the American flag knobs. that you
Ah,
have on there.
yep, very cool stuff there. Thank you for submitting that. Actually, yeah, I do see them now. Are those bottle cap? They look like bottle caps almost. Anyway, I want to welcome Dawn Mrs. Gitty Baker to the stage here. She's got an old Irish love song that she's been singing for years, but I don't know if we've done it together before. I'm not singing, I'm just playing.
Not a lot of people know about it.
But it is a traditional song. Sinead O'Connor recorded the version that you learned, and it is in the tradition of what are called broken token folk songs, traditional songs. The old idea that two lovers have to part, usually one going off to war, like in this song, and they'll take a coin or a locket or a pendant or something and break it in half. One will take one half, the other takes the other half, just in case they can't recognize each other. Should they come back together, they match them up and everything's good. In the folk tradition, usually these songs involve the guy, the soldier returning, tricking his beloved, briefly. Testing, you know, just jabbing some anguish into her, and so that's kind of what happens in this song. But it's a beautiful, beautiful song. It's called Her Mantle So Green.
As I went out walking one morning in June to view the fair fields and the valleys in bloom, I spied a pretty fair maid. She appeared like a
went down to visit a good friend of ours named Charlie Boyle the other weekend down at the greenhouse, and Don sang that one, and it went over really well. And I was playing my tenor banjo at the time, and I didn't really know what the chords were, so a little more prepared today. So. All right. Well, thank you, Mrs. Gitty. Joining in our pre-Irish show thing here. What do we got next? We have a short video for you from Mr. Shane Spiel. Just today, we have pre-released a brand new cigar box guitar kit here at CB Gitty that we are calling the Big Easy Cigar Box Guitar Kit. So named for two reasons. One, in honor of New Orleans, the Big Easy, one of the nicknames of that fine city, where instruments like this simple cigar box guitar helped. They were part of the musical history of that story, a part of the history of the formation of jazz music through the Razzie Dazzie Spasm Band and others. This kit is in honor of that. The other reason we call it the Big Easy is, of course, because it's so flippin' easy to put together. All you need is a screwdriver. It's based on some other kits we've done in the past with a few cool tweaks. So here is Shane to show you and tell you and just everything. Play it for you, all kinds of good stuff. We'll be right back.
Howdy-ho, welcome back to the Gitty Gang Show. It's apparently me on the stage doing things with Nick doing his thing, which is always awesome. And that was Shane, Shane being awesome too. I understand there was a video posted earlier today on Facebook that you're welcome to check out on the Cigar Box Nation Facebook page and CB Gitty Facebook page, where it's a bit more refined than the one that you just saw, but nonetheless, it's basically Shane being awesome. So check it out. And that was awesome too, Shane, so thank you very much. But right now, what we have for you today, and today only, is Watt Corner, which is where you submit photos to us, and then we, in turn, share them with the rest of the God-given world. Now, first up, I know that Nick is... I overwhelmed him with way too many pictures this time around, but this we have here is a long-time contributor. It's actually Bill M. But Bill goes under the name Blueswater, and he makes some really... maybe we've shared some of his stuff before, but this I thought was particularly unique in that it is a 4-string bass, and those bass parts are from CB Gitty Craft Supply. Awesome stuff. I think we have another picture too, Nick. Do we? Of that, a little bit closer up of the bass. I just love the fact that he committed to a 4-string, which I think is really unique. He used a 6-string pre-wired single coil pickup harness from us. I think the whole thing's attractive, and I always get squirrely about putting sound holes underneath where my forearms would be, or maybe possibly my lap. Bill doesn't have that problem. He's got a large box, and I think he did a great job with this. Bill, I don't even know if you've watched the show, Bill, but I just want to extend my gratitude for the fact that you continually not only support us here at CB Gitty, but continually contribute your awesome work to our website. So thank you very much. Next up, we have, I'm sorry to throw that at you, Nick, I know you were typing, it's from Kathy W., a new builder. And part of the reason why I'm so excited is that I really enjoy highlighting the few female builders that we have that contribute or share their photos with us. And it's really exciting to know that this isn't just that this is an all-inclusive hobby or pastime, building cigar box guitars. And Kathy was kind enough to share what she built with her son. And as Kathy writes, with this awesome box guitar that she built, building cigar box guitars all started when my son said that he would like to buy a three-string cigar box guitar. And then Kathy got to looking at a few and decided that she can make a better quality one herself. I think that may be something that we've all felt at some point or another, and I'm really stoked that Kathy felt that way. And Nick, I'm sorry, I know there's a couple. You can feel free to rifle through them as you will. Excuse me, Kathy goes on to write, I ordered separate parts from CB Gitty, and I haven't looked back because she's constructed the whole guitar on the pickup of her, or the tailgate of her pickup. So she doesn't have a workbench, she doesn't have a workshop, but she has a pickup truck, awesome. Pickup truck, puts down the tailgate, and that is her work surface. And she builds cigar box guitars. I think that is just really rad. And she built it for her son, which is even more important to me. She goes on to write, did I make a few mistakes? Yes, I did, but that's half the fun of the build. This is a lot of fun to build, and it really sounds great. I can't wait to build my own, and I think Kathy really nailed it. And that is it. Having fun has been known to say, and will continue to say, if you're having fun, you're doing it right. And I think that applies here to cigar box guitars, and Kathy clearly has embraced it on her first guitar. So thank you, Kathy W. I don't know if you're out there, because I know this was your first one, but I did send you an email today if you're out there, and just to say thanks, so appreciate it. Now, next up, we have Dean M. And Dean, as some of us know him by, is Soul Cat Guitars out there in Seattle, Washington. I'm stoked to have something to share by Dean M because he is an incredible craftsman, as you can see for yourself here with the guitar that is displayed. It's just a single image. And what Dean writes is he took a generic cigar box, overlaid the Coco Bolo veneer and the center inlay, and built the guitar around it. So I like the fact that he chose a theme and then constructed everything else around that theme. CB Gitty, thank you for saying this, Dean, by the way, Dean M. CB Gitty has always been a big part of my builds. In fact, Eddie Vedder, of all people, Eddie Vedder, I don't know if you all know who that is. I know our age group kind of skews towards outside of the grunge music era, but Eddie Vedder was the singer for Pearl Jam. And Eddie Vedder has one of Dean M. from Soul Cat Guitars. Eddie Vedder has one of his guitars, and we actually posted shared an article that was that highlighted Dean M. Not that long ago, and in that article from I can't remember the publication's name, but out his way by the Puget Sound, Seattle, Washington area, it read that Dean M is a former professional woodworker who was injured on a job site, needed something to do outside of that, so he turned to making wooden bowls available and then sold them at the Sunday Market, which is the Pike Place Market down in Seattle. If you haven't heard about it, I believe it's one of the, if not the oldest running farmers market in the United States. But he said the bowls weren't selling, so then he turned to, he saw a cigar box guitar online, turned to building that, and he's been making those as his living. That was 8 years ago. And as Dean says, I can't believe that I fell into this. Cigar box guitars will change your life if you let them. Again, more wise words from people who are out there sharing their work with us. I totally agree with you, Dean. Thank you very much for sharing that with us because your work is awesome. Next up, we have good friend Jimmy C. Out in PA. I love the fact that you're doing good work. Jimmy C, he's got his hobo fiddle, and he actually used a custom printed hobo fiddle box, which you can get here at CB Gitty Craft Supply, along with hobo fiddle strings, hobo fiddle fretboard, and you name it, to build an awesome little git like this. And Jimmy C goes to write with this, couldn't resist pairing up the new hobo fiddle box with the hobo fiddle fretboard. What a cool little instrument this turned out to be. I used a nice cherry stain on the box, neck, and fretboard, and as you can see here, and Nick, I'm sorry, feel free to rifle through them as you will. And I love the little the sound holes that he's put on the side there, and about those, Jimmy C wrote, I couldn't bring myself to put holes in the front of the box where the graphics are, so I put 2 different sized holes on top, which is great because those sound holes are pointed towards him, the player. Also there you can see a little neck brace. We have like a little neck brace that we sell here, and part of the reason why I'm so on board with him using a neck brace is because Jimmy C decided to use steel strings as opposed to nylon strings on this hobo fiddle, and so that neck brace is going to help keep the neck, prevent the neck from bowing. So awesome stuff. He goes on to write that he used Shane Spiel tuners, small eye screws with string guides, and a fancy box corner to make the headstock look good. And I agree with you, Jimmy C, because you make some rad stuff. And thank you for continuing to share it with us. Now then, I don't know if that was the last one or if we have another one there. Ah, there's the fretboard. Awesome. Next up, we have Kathy D. Good friend Kathy D, who actually lives not that far from here. This is her class with whom she built, with whom she built cigar box guitars in this winter term right up the road at high school in Dover, New Hampshire. And she writes, here's one of my CBG workshop groups during this year's high school winter term. Thank you, CB Gitty, for the awesome educators discount. We like to help church groups and individuals and schools and other institutions who build and who use our parts and kits in group learning environments. We help by providing them a discount, and if you're not aware of that, feel free to contact us. This next guitar actually is also by Kathy D, built outside of her classroom, but yet part of what I love about this is that she built it for a brewery that she loves up in Kittery, Maine, called the Tributary Brewing Company, I believe. So I love the fact that she put a little pop top right there as a sound hole cover, and what is not pictured is that she put a little growler on the headstock, a little growler to commemorate or to celebrate the fact that she loves this the Tributary Brewing Company up in Kittery, Maine. Last up now is stalwart and true cigar box community member, cigar box guitar community member. You know this handsome devil out there. That handsome devil is Louis LaManna, obviously, and what he has here I'm going to read to you because he wrote, Mr. Baker himself sized and printed the CB Gitty custom printed box kit from his own stash of artwork. That's what you see here, what Louis built. I'm sorry that I got that sentence a little muddled. A long time ago I saw a picture of the scene inlaid on the back of a banjo and fell in love with it. Seemed like a waste to have it on the back though. Thanks to Ben, I was able to have it on the front. And awesome guitar, and there's some more images here that Nick's, obviously I am not being very helpful, Nick. You're welcome to rifle through them as you will. The CB Gitty parts I used are a Marty Tauber Wicked Bucka that you can see there, kind of stationed in between a couple of the fine young gents on that image. A Marty Tauber Wicked Bucker, plain mandolin style tailpiece, painted copper, floating bridge, fret wire, bone nut, all that stuff he painted copper to match the theme that he has going here. Yeah, he made the neck, which you'll see here, this beautiful like banjo neck with a fifth tuner. Made the neck out of 200-year-old cherry and maple. It has a 9-piece laminated headstock. What? 9-piece laminated headstock and an ebony stained maple fretboard with the stain sanded off the sides to look like the binding. So there you can see the headstock. You get to see the little emblem that he's got on top there. All the metal parts in the box are painted copper, and the eagle on the headstock is off an antique gun cleaning kit. And I gotta say, Louis LaManna, that is one of the most impressive things I've seen in a long while. There's another picture of that headstock and neck, and I really enjoy the fact that you're as enthusiastic about this as you are, because it really comes out in what the final product. I think you did a really great job, and I'm glad that you have taken the time to share that with us and support what we do here at CB Gitty, because we're happy, of course, to support you, sir. So thank you, Louis. And that, for all intents and purposes, is ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum, Watt Corner.
I missed the play
kind of raced through it.
Well, I hope to hear that banjo at this coming Pennsylvania Cigar Box Guitar Festival. Louis and his wife Deb performed there last year on the inside stage. Hopefully they'll be back and he'll bring that awesome banjo with him. So great work, Louis. I'm proud to have been able to play a small part in you creating that amazing instrument.
Yeah.
Speaking of amazing instruments, as you know, we have a person here at CB Gitty whose voice is an amazing instrument, and here she is about to come on stage, our own Kim Starling, to help me sing a couple. There's her head right there, right in the camera. To sing a couple of. You lost your tipper.
I did.
She's got her drum with her. Don't be alarmed, folks.
That's a big bummer, though. All right, keep talking.
So we got a couple of Irish songs for you, both of them from the new St. Patrick's Day Favorites songbook that was released this week. We both know these well enough that I don't even have to open up the book. I probably just jinxed myself. I'm probably going to forget every other word now.
We're in trouble.
God help us.
Hello, buddy. So happy to hear Tributary. My friends
To hear what now?
Todd and Galen at Tributary Brewery.
You know.
Yeah, Todd's a local beer legend.
They are a sponsor of Revel in the Meadow.
Revel in the Meadow. All right, So for these songs, I'm getting out the Irish flag,
Well, as you do.
as one does, you know. So
wonder
there,
where
get
my
my
real
keys
tip
out
is.
of the way. I didn't see it in here. I was looking for it earlier. All right.
Interesting. No worries. What are we doing first? What?
Well, we're gonna do Molly Malone.
Oh.
Let me tune up this here Irish flag guitar.
So,
See,
when you
Mac?
asked me to sing Molly Malone, I was like, well, can we do it at a different rhythm?
Yeah, a little different, because
I love this song. I sing this song in our band. And a mentor of mine loved the song, requested it at his funeral, like all of it. But sometimes it gets a little, so you want a little pep to it, a little something. This person and I made the mistake of singing it once at his son's daycare. And there was a
it's
little,
going back a few years.
yeah, and there was a little girl named Molly, and she was all excited that there was a song with her name in it. And then you'll see at the end that Molly dies, and in the middle of the song she went, "I don't want to die of a fever."
Yeah, she was like
So we traumatized
horrified.
children. So caution if you go to sing this somewhere.
Well, we worked out a new rhythm to this just before the show, and that's the truth, and this is also the truth. I've forgotten what it was.
I was thinking that when I was watching the earlier part of the show. I was like, he doesn't remember what we did. It don't matter. I'll follow along. Sounds good.
In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first laid my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled a wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure was no wonder, so were her father and mother before, and they all wheeled their barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her. That was the end of sweet Molly Malone, and her ghost wheels her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
That was close. That was close to what we had going before the show, I think.
I highly recommend that. If there's a song you sing all the time and it's feeling flat to you, just even for once or during rehearsal, speed it up, slow it down, and you'll find different things about the song that you like and don't like.
Yeah, often with some of these, especially the slower Irish and folk songs, a tendency that we've had is, let's bluegrassify it. You know, ding, 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 speed it up and give it a little different rhythm, and yeah, it can give you a whole new outlook on a song. We're not going to do that to this next song, I don't think, because this is one of the, it's also in the new St. Patrick's Day Favorites songbooks. It's been one of my favorite Irish songs since I first got into this music, way back whenever the heck that was. It's the Rising of the Moon. It is a rebel song. Of course, they were rising up against their British rulers at the time, and as they did many times over the years before it finally worked out. So this is the Rising of the Moon, usually sung by my good friend Tyler Foss, who is preparing to
Off to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica,
Yep.
of all places. But we're going to have him back, we hope, in time for the Gitty Gang St. Patrick's Day show. Wouldn't be the same without T.P. Fossey. So, all right. Do this in the key of...
So I'm singing harmony. I gotta look at him while he's singing, or he'll go to lands unknown.
Yeah. All right, key of D. Well then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush me, book, oh hush and listen, and his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. Now then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. In the old spot by the river, right well known to you and me. One word more for signal token, whistle loud the marching tune. And hurrah me by your shoulder till you're the rising of the moon. Here's the rising of the moon, here's the rising of the moon. With your pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. Out of many a mud-walled cabin eyes were watching through the night. Many a manly heart was throbbing for the coming morning light. Rumors ran along the valleys like the banshee's lonely croon. And 1,000 lights were flashing by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And 1,000 lights were flashing by the rising of the moon. All along that singing river, that dark mass of men was seen. High above their shining weapons hung their own beloved green. Death to every foe and traitor, forward strike the marching tune. And hurrah me boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. And hurrah me boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. And hurrah me boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon.
I saw that look in your eye when you wished you could go this way. You stayed. Good job.
And I dropped my pick there at the end, but so there's a couple of good Irish songs from the new songbook. And actually, speaking of songbooks, I finished this one, St. Patrick's Day Favorites, jumped right into the next one, which is Irish and Scottish and even a couple of English, don't tell anybody, drinking songs. Some of the best favorite pub songs, drinking songs, you know, that either directly involve drinking. There's a number of Irish songs, as you might know, that talk about things like whiskey and drinking up the good porter and all the beer and all that good stuff. So, drinking songs will be out in time for St. Patrick's Day as well. So, I'm actually on the last of those drinking songs, a favorite of the Dover Rovers.
Oh.
Let's do it. Why not?
Okay.
We got a little time.
I'm with you.
Now this one,
You don't scare me.
I don't have it fully tabbed out yet, but I think I got it in my head here.
In my head.
All right. We're all here together to sit and to crack with our glasses in our hands and our work upon our back. They say a trade among them that can mend or can hack, if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. If it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hay a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hay a coat of the black or the blue, if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. Do I know all these verses?
I don't know.
There's soldiers and there's sailors, there's glaziers and all. There's doctors and there's ministers, and them that with the law. And them in South America, though them we never saw. But we hear they wear the work of the weavers. If it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hay a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hay a coat of the black or the blue, if it wasn't for the work of the weaver. Now weaving is a trade that never can fail, as long as we need clothes for to keep our mother hale. So let us all be merry and a drinker of good ale, and we'll drink to the health of the weavers. If it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hay a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hay a coat of the black or the blue, if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. Right, so that's next on the docket for me to tab out. Apparently I do need, or apparently I do know most of the words, so that's nice. All right, well, thank you, Kim. There will be more in the weeks ahead. What have we got? 3 weeks? 3 shows before the day itself?
Sure.
Sure. What is today?
Today,
The 22nd.
22nd.
So there is no 29th in February, so we'll be back March 1st, March 8th, and then March 15th.
Math, you're so good.
Yeah, right. March 15th, we are hoping, will be the Irish show. We'll try to get Patrick Boyle and Tyler Foss and the whole crew in here. Get Nick up here to sing a couple. Kim Starling, of course. We don't even know what's happening.
I'm feeling dismissed, but I think you and our Nick are doing something which involves me.
Well, she'll be
Is
back
that soon.
She'll be back in the third half of today's show. No, we've got another video for you from Ken D, Turtlebox Ken, and then Mr. Nick Lanciano going to join us on stage. He and I are going to sing a song which is one of the trickier of all the Irish session songs.
It's tricky.
It's got a weird rhythm, a lot of words that just roll right. Anyway, here's this cool video from Ken D, and we'll be right back with a little more Irish goodness. Short video.
That came a lot faster than I thought it would.
So we'd like to dedicate this next one to our good buddy George Brackett out there. Not entirely sure what he was getting at, but I'm not sure he's a big fan of my singing. Oh, George, I ain't gonna lie.
He is a super fan of mine, that's all.
That's so understandable. There's a lot of times I'm not a big fan of my singing, but I keep telling myself, as Glenn mentioned earlier, you know, I try to have fun doing it. I have fun playing, I have fun singing, even if it's not always the best. I certainly appreciate the folks who join in and suffer through what we put out every week. We try to make it as good as we can. But I'll tell you, George, should you ever do a show, my mom is out there, Mama Gitty out there, and she raised me good enough that if you ever do a show, I won't tune in and badmouth you on it. How about that, George? And hi, Mom. So welcome, Nick, to the stage. We have for you now.
Salty.
Oh no, just saying.
Just playing around.
Just saying. I forgot to change over our. We need words on this one.
Yeah, I'm like, uh-oh, looking down. Whoop.
So that we can pretend that we are looking at the camera. Hey,
It's gonna go well.
Oh, there's no trouble.
It's gonna go great.
All right. Is that pocket? No. All right. Good. If you thought that was good, wait till you see this. Whew. All right. This is the Rocky Road to Dublin. Kim is good enough to stay up here and give us a bit of rhythm, because this one, it's what they call a slip jig. There's a lot of different types of tunes and rhythms in Irish and folk music. You know, a jig is 6/8 time, and those polkas we did are, I think, 2/4, and blah blah blah. Waltz time. This is a slip jig where there are 9 beats per measure. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's hard to drum, it's hard to sing, but by God,
It's a rocky road.
we're not gonna
know anything about that.
Nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. But trust me, as we're about to demonstrate.
Oh boy.
All right, we're gonna set our tempo here. Can't hear that. Here we go.
In the merry month of June, from my home I started, left the girls of Toom, a nearly broken-hearted, saluted father dear. Kissed me, darling mother, drank a pint of beer, me grief and tears to smother, then off to reap the corn, leave where I was born. I caught a stout blackthorn to banish ghosts and goblins, a brand new pair of brogues, rattling over the bogs and frightening all the dogs on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack for lolly-da. When in Mullingar that night, I rested limbs so weary, started by daylight. Me spirits bright and early, took a drop of the pure to keep me heart from sinking. That's the paddy cure. When he is gone for drinking, to see the lassie smile, laughing all the while at me curious style, would set your heart a bubbling. Ask me was I hired, wages I required, till I was nearly tired on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack for lolly-ra. When Dublin next arrived, I thought it was a pity to be so soon deprived of view of that fine city. Then I took a stroll, all among the quality, me bundle it was stole, all in a neat locality. Something crossed me mind when I looked behind, no bundle could I find upon me stick, go wobbling, inquiring for the rogue. Said me Connaught brogue wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack for lolly-da. Well, from there I got away, me spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain at me roared, said that no room had he when I jumped aboard. Cabin found for Paddy down among the pigs, played some hearty rigs, danced some hearty jigs, the water around me bubbling when I folly head. I wish myself was dead, or better far instead, on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road all the way to Dublin, whack for lolly-ra. Well, the boys of Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, blood began to boil, temper I was losing, poor old Aaron's Isle he began abusing. Hurrah, me soul, says I, should lately I'll apply. Some Galway boys were by and saw I was a hobbling, then without array, joining in the fray, they quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack for lolly-ra, whack for lolly-ra, whack for lolly-ra. Ha! 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 That was a rocky road.
8 or 10 more times through that, and my God,
that was better than the first time. 2 times we did it. That was.
I think we'll have it. So, lots of words in that one.
And a lot of sessions that I've heard that they go faster. And
Oh yeah,
faster.
speeding up.
Who is it that usually sat in at Mel's and the ball?
Oh,
gentleman?
Mike.
Yeah, he sang it like
Jesus,
the end. You didn't
think
even
it
know what he
was
was
him.
singing.
Yeah, I can tell you. All right, well, thank you, Nick.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kim.
Oh, sure.
I think that is the majority of the show
That's
we've
a
got
wrap.
for you this week. We'll get Glenn Watt back up here to play us out. A reminder, the I Love Gitty sale continues to go on. You've got literally one more week, 7 more days.
Now, as your loving shipping goddess,
Wow.
do not put it in the notes.
Yeah, you gotta.
To the right, there's a place that says.
I mean, we take care of it
Coupon.
either way, but.
I know, but be that person that looks to the right, puts it in the coupon little spot, push apply.
And it
all will be well.
automatically applies and all is
And
well.
you won't have to worry that we don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're staying. She's
Oh,
staying.
why not?
Jesus,
Why?
thought she was heading
This
out.
is a, screw that.
I'm not going anywhere, people. All right, so yes, Gitty Gang, no, the I Love Gitty sale continues through the end of this month. The new songbooks, check them out if you haven't already. Even if you don't like Irish music, get one, just put it on your shelf. It'll look good there. People think, oh.
You never know, you get
Clearly
dragged
this
into an Irish
person-
session.
Well, you know, we listed them earlier this week, and quite a few have sold. And as they're selling, I'm like, do these people actually like Irish music, or have they just been hearing me carry on about it for the last 5 years, and they feel bad for
We're
me?
breaking you in.
We'll get one. Maybe he'll shut up now. No, ain't gonna happen. All right. It's Gitty Gang Show on Scarbox Nation TV. It's the Gitty Gang Show on Scarbox Nation TV. And came to you live from CB Gitty. Oh, come on, slap that big little one. He ain't gonna do it, folks. He ain't gonna do it. Well, all you need is a sticker box and some strings. Said all you need is a sticker box and some strings. Well, you put them all together, you know they're gonna ring. It's the Gitty Gang Show.
Gitty Gang Show.
It's the Gitty Gang Show.
Gitty Gang Show.
It's the Gitty Gang Show.
Gitty Gang Show.
It's the Gitty Gang Show. Oh, oh.
Gitty Gang Show.
It's the Gitty Gang Show on Scarbox Nation TV. All right, well, thank you, everyone. We'll be back again next week with even more Irish-fueled shenanigans, I suspect. See you then.